Hello, this is a quick look at new library. I started playing with it recently. It's called Ibis, and I think it's a very interesting library because it's trying to solve a problem. Problem is, if you used Python library, you will find that there is no standard, and literally every library will use a slightly or totally different kind of syntax. So if you have pandas, has its own syntax. PSpark, polars, daft, dask, you name it. For some reason, no library can agree on something common. So Ibis approach is, by the way, it's this project started by the guy who built pandas, so probably he knows what he's doing. The idea is very simple. Basically, Ibis is not an execution engine. All it does is like a front end. So you write using its own API, and if you're cynical, you'll say they will end up just creating another API. But but the idea is using that API, Ibis will take it and translate it to SQL, and then send the SQL to all the backend and get you back the result. In the case of Fabric, obviously the engine that I use the most is obviously the House SQL, Spark, and DuckDB. For this, I would start with DuckDB, but the beauty is all you have to do is just literally change your engine, and you will get the same output. For this demo, I'm not attaching a lakehouse, so it works by reading directly from one lake using the ABFS URL. At the end of the day, one lake, it just has your storage, in a sense. So let's run it. The input is you need the workspace and the lake house, because basically in one lake, to get any table, like all you need is the workspace and lake house, and using this URL, which is standardized, you will get the path for a table. So first, let's start with the SQL. I purposely written here T-SQL, which is flavor, I guess, Microsoft Flavor SQL, using the famous top, which, as far as I know, it's only implemented with Microsoft product. I used this specific function just to make it easier, but anyway, you input the SQL query, the engine that you want for execution, and the dialect. And Ibis using, because Ibis under the hood, it's using another excellent library called SQL Glot, and it do like an amazing translation between the different SQL dialect. So I got back result, which I plot using alter, and then I got this chart. The chart is basically showing I think the average and the sum of fares in New York in the last 30 days. Alter, you can do interesting stuff like I think called cross brushing. Yes, something like that. So this is using SQL. The second is you can use dataframe API. Same thing. All you need is input workspace and lakehouse name and the engine. Then you click list the database, and Something I really like in Ibis, they are very opinionated. They deprecate the use of the word schema because it's one of the most confusing thing. Because when you talk to people, it's not very clear if you mean table schema or schema as a group of tables. So they just decided that the first level is called catalog, the second level is database, third level is table, which I think it make a lot of sense. Here it's a typical dataframe API. You get the table, and then I filter here on year, group per day, and then just do some aggregation, the sum and the average. Then in Ibis, using this function SI to SQL, then it will tell me the SQL generated, and I can even plot execution plan. So it's taking table and filtering on some fields and doing aggregation. And then they have a good integration with Altair. So in Altair, usually here you need to put some kind of data frame. But here I'm just putting aggregation, which is an expression. And Altair will just materialize the data, I think, using arrow and plot it. So, and the same, this is all the taxi fares for 2024. Same thing, you can play with it. Yeah, I hope you like it. Hopefully next time I will try to test Spark and the data warehouse.